Hey guys, thanks for joining this tutorial, and I will be showing you how you can leverage our latest addition to Rete editor that is called Control Flow. And what Control Flow allows you to do is to play with time mostly, and you will see how you can leverage that in your applications. So let's get started, and let's just load a Gaussian splatting mesh that I've prepared for this tutorial, and it's a girl with two bikes. I will also enable the skybox so that it looks nicer. We'll also create a grid mesh, so we have sort of, a world around us. And then let's create a circle face just to give us a small podium. Let's make it 2-meter radius, and let's change its color. So let's draw any async. Let's plug it here. Let's hide the original, and let's use simple options to change the color of the face like that. So now we're ready to begin working with Control Flow, and so far we didn't use it, right? So everything was created just from scratch, and we'll make it rotate on the podium. So let's get started. Well, so if you want to find the Control Flow algorithms, most of them are here, but you may have also noticed that we have these new additions to the components, the green ones, the arrows, and those will just force the components to execute whenever we trigger them. And let's create a trigger now. So let's create this button that is called a trigger, and let's go to counters, and let's create one counter. So here we have a counter, and let's connect those two like this. So the counter will start in a step of 1, and let's also preview the data. So let's use this component to show the results of the executions. And now if I connect also the counters action to the execution of preview data, we can click this button, and you see that this number updated. So if I click it again, it will update again. And if I want to reset the counter, I can do it like this. So let's trigger now, and you see that it resets to 0. So while this isn't really looking like much, you will see how you can leverage this to your advantage. And of course, if you didn't yet realize, you can create timers like intervals, for example, to make those numbers update automatically. So let's make a trigger that starts the interval, and then let's connect the interval to the execution part of the counter, and let's see what happens now. So let's trigger it, and you'll see that the counter starts changing those numbers at each second. This is quite something, because at this exact moment we can say that we want to update rotations of our Gaussian splatting mesh by a vector. So let's do this. Let's create a vector XYZ. Let's hide it so it's not visible. Let's connect the value here. Let's connect the execution here so that it updates always. And let's see what is happening now. So let's connect the vector to here, and you'll see that the y coordinate is updating. And what I will do is I will say to the Gaussian splatting mesh output that I want to use Babylon mesh component to set its rotation. And rotation accepts basically a vector that indicates around which axis how many degrees it needs to rotate. So in this case, we will use a Babylon mesh of a Gaussian splat, and we'll use the rotation of this vector, and we'll connect the execution mode like this. So now you see that our model updates automatically in 1 degree every second. So if we want to make it, smoother, we will say that the step needs to be decreased by 0.1, for example. And we will also need to fire our interval a bit faster. So let's do it like this. So let's fire the interval every 10 milliseconds, and the counter will be rotating 0.1. And this creates a much better looking animation of this Gaussian splat is just rotating in the scene. And so there are many more components that you can leverage in the flow category. We will be creating a lot more in the future, but this is just a simple example of how you can use them already now. And yeah, this will give you a possibility to create interactions with your models, listen to various kinds of events, and yeah, just create much more engaging experiences on our platform. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and it wasn't too long. And yeah, let's see each other in the next ones. Cheers, guys.